lighting right now is really beautiful. The sun is out and it's diffused beautifully. This house is absolutely gorgeous. Between the red steps and the wooden door and the blue paint and the white framing, and the green grass, everything is just so beautiful and so perfect. Do you want to go knock on the door? I'm so sorry to bother you.
No,
I'm taking photos,
yeah,
and I'm walking by your house, and it's absolutely beautiful.
Okay.
And I'm wondering if I can take a photo of my dog just like poking his head out of your door.
Yeah, sure.
Is that
no
okay?
problem. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
What's his name?
His name is Momo.
Hey, Momo.
Momo, who's that?
How's it going?
Okay, closer, just a bit. Closer. Good boy. Stay. 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 Thank you. So that worked out really well. And that gentleman was very, very friendly. And I hope he watches the Skillshare video and finds his house. Normally I'll have a kind of destination in mind, but this neighborhood happens to be extremely beautiful and everything is amazing. So I'm just going to kind of walk in any direction at this point and hope to find some more beautiful front doors. And I'm going to be looking on this side of the street only, because this is the side of the street that the sun is shining on. This one's kind of easy because there's some lips where I can put Momo behind and he can pop out. So I don't have to knock on the door and interrupt anyone. So I'm just going to do that. And I hope we don't get in trouble. Come here. This way. Come over here. Turn around. Stay. Where's your stick or your frisbee? Stay. So I know the keywords that makes Momo's ears pop out. Nope. And sometimes he comes out entirely. What do you think? I think if I stand right there, maybe get that frame. The lighting is beautiful. And these colors of this porch are awesome. And I'm very thankful for friendly people and letting me shoot photos of their front door. We've got a lot of photos and I'm really excited about getting into Lightroom and editing them and sharing them. I'm feeling like the theme here is that Momo is indeed super friendly and that he can be let into any house because he's an awesome dog and dogs are awesome.
So this is probably my most important tip. You have to focus on the eye. So many shots can look amazing apart from the fact the eye is out of focus. It's slightly further forwards on the muzzle, it's on a wing, it's on another part of their body. So I'm just going to interrupt myself here for a second to show you what I mean. You can see in this photo of the Gila monster, the focus has missed, it's on its nose. So automatically this image has become less engaging because you're not looking into the eyes of the animal and creating empathy. However, if you look at this example where its eyes are in focus, you can immediately see it's far more engaging. But anyway, back to the rest of the lesson. If the eye isn't in focus, you have to delete the shot. Okay, well, maybe that's a bit extreme. There are exceptions to the rule, but 99% of the time, if you miss focus on the eye, you should delete the photo. This is probably the second best tip that I have, and that is to get down to eye level. You have to get down to the same level as the animal that you're photographing, or lower. I mean, occasionally, again, there can be exceptions to the rule, but you do normally want to get down to at least eye level. This creates empathy with the animal and it brings you into their world. Everyone's seen what animals look like from a normal human standing point, but not everyone has seen it through the eyes of an animal. I think this is what can make some photos really look like snapshots when the photographer hasn't bothered to change their position. If you get down to the ground and you see the world through the animal's eyes, that's where you create a connection, and that is how you get a captivating wildlife portrait. Another must-have for me when it comes to eyes is a catch light. So you can see in my eyes at the moment, there's this little white shine on them. That's the catch light. If I remove the white shine from my eyes, they suddenly just become a lot less engaging. But as soon as you have a catch light, it just brings a bit more life into the animal's eyes.
Disclaimer, these aren't my best photos I've ever taken, but they clearly show the difference between an animal's face that is in darkness, or the eyes at least are kind of shaded, and one where it has catch lights in its eyes. And hopefully you agree that the one with catch lights does just look better.
So my last tip with eyes is optional, to be honest, and that is direct eye contact. Now, direct eye contact has the ability to kind of suck you in to the animal's world. If an animal's looking slightly away, I mean, sure, it looks nice as a photo and it creates mystery because you think, what are they looking at over there? So that adds to the story. But direct eye contact, it draws you straight in. You feel like you have a much deeper connection with the animal. It's strange, but it works. So if you can, wait for eye contact sometimes.
Come get in the picture. She knows she's not supposed to be on the kitchen table. So we're going to let her let it pass just this once. So while she's in position, I'm gonna just go ahead and get myself ready to go. You're so pretty. I want you to look over this way. So turn. Come here. Oh yes, I put her face toward the light. Oh, she's so pretty. I'm gonna pull this reflector up. Get a little bit of light in. This will just give us a more evenly lit photo, but it'll still provide that drama that I'm looking for. You're so cute. Okay, let's go for that full body shot. I'm gonna zoom out to 35mm. Oh, you funny girl. Hi. Ooh, my backdrop's just a bit tight for this. Here. You want to smell the feather? You want to smell the feather? I missed you. I missed your blink. You want a treat? You want a treat? Hey, look. You smell that? Alright, so after flipping through, I know we have a few really good shots in here. I don't know that I got my best full, head to tail shot of Small Cat, but she's done for the moment, so I'll have to try that one again. I know I have one of her in her space costume that I absolutely love. So the goal here is to get a beautiful, captivating portrait of your pet, and be comfortable talking to them and helping them through the situation. I had a few different things that I was able to use to kind of keep her attention. I'm honestly surprised we were able to capture it for that long, and I'm really pleased with the few images that we were able to get that I really feel like are going to be very effective.
Hi guys, I'm Konsta Punkka, 21 years old, professional nature and outdoor photographer. I come from southern Finland, and today we will learn how to take some animal portraits.
So we just arrived to the place, and often it takes a while to get the animals come close, and that's one of the things in animal photography. You have to wait and wait and wait. So I always want to take the close-up shots because I want to get the feelings and the ideas behind the animal, what he's feeling. So that means we have to use lots of patience and lots of time to get that close that you can feel the animal in the photos. That's you can always take bird shots and different kind of mammal shots with long lenses, but you always, when you're shooting with long lenses, you don't feel the ideas and feelings of the animals in the photos. So today we're gonna try to get up close and take some portrait with animals' eyes wide open and them looking into our cameras so we can get some serious stuff happening. So right now we have this long tree on my right side, and I'm trying to get a shot with down here perspective towards up, so I can get different sort of perspective. So what I do, I need to figure it out how to get the squirrel looking down on me when I get in shot up there. So I need to really focus and think about how to get the animal standing around here. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna put this stuff here, there. We're gonna make them stay for a minute and take the photos. You have to think how to get close, how to get down here. So you have to work with the peanuts, or trust, how I would say, to get him on the right perspective place. One really important thing is when you're shooting a close-up portrait of squirrel or fox or something, and you know where the animal is coming to meet you with your camera, you can switch the focus on manual mode. So then you can only think about the shutter speed and the composition you want on the photo, so you don't need to anymore think about where to focus. So that's one less thing to worry about. Often when I go to shoot, I start my day by going to the close by landscape place to take some sunrise photos or something, so I can relax and think about the things I want to shoot on the wildlife place. And when I'm close enough like this, I can get the feelings and ideas through the animal eyes on my lens, and that's how I get the money shots. The thing how you can get started with animal photography and wildlife photography, like basic, is to you need to really know how the nature works, how the animals you shoot works, like which time of the day they are active and which area they are living. So you can locate the place where you want to shoot, and then when you have found the place where you start the photography, you can start to get closer and closer and try to earn the trust by step. So right now you can see that all the birds and squirrels are coming straight to sitting on my camera or just come here, they don't care. So we have a trust connection between us. So we can really, they don't afraid, so I can get super close with my wide angle, and that's the close-up, that's the main thing to get the close-up shots. I always shoot with the aperture mode, because when I shoot wildlife, the moments come super fast, so you need to trust the camera that it counts you the right shutter speed, because you might have 10 seconds, 15 seconds time to take the photo, so you can only focus on the aperture and you taking the photo on right time, and the composition is good. When I'm thinking about the light in my photos, I have many options. One option is I shoot my animal portraits towards the sun, which gives silhouette or contrast twist on the photos. Or you can shoot along the sun, which means the sun is behind you, so you will get really nice soft light on the animal, and the landscape behind the animal is also really soft without contrast. On a cloudy day, you get a flat soft light and low contrast. In my close-up photos, I use the spot metering to get the animal's eyes super sharp. If the eyes of animal in my photos are not sharp, the photo is completely rubbish. The thing what I do differently in my animal photography is I whisper the animals. And what that means is I use some sort of voice. At the beginning, when you try to find a place to take the close-up animal photos, it's really important that you start using some sort of voice when you come to the place, so the animals learn the sound and what that means. That gives you the extra space and trust to get super close, and when the animal hear the sound, he always look to the camera and check you can get the shot. It's really important that you put the stutter sound off or on the silent mode, because the animals are really afraid of the sound. Right now I have already taken photos of these animals like 2 years, so they already know this sound, so they don't afraid. When you start taking the animal photos, it doesn't mean that you get super close immediately. That means you have to take a time, patience, and lay on the ground many hours to get closer. And then you can get the close-up shots because the animals don't know you are there. And that's the main key, to get the shots without the trust connection.
The first photo that I want to talk to you about is a classic portrait. We want to capture our entire plant in its planter, and this is a great way to measure your plant's growth over time because you'll be able to see it grow. You can compare it to the first time you photographed it. This is something that I like to do. I keep a plant journal so I can watch my plants grow and change, and so I wanted to show you a very simple way to set this up and how I use the light for this type of photo. All right, so let's take a portrait. To get started, we want to make sure we pick the most aesthetic side, the best angle of our plant, and we want to gently wipe down the leaves if they have any dust or soil on them so that you get the best looking photo possible. I have set up this spot here in my kitchen. I've got this backsplash and countertop, super clean, very aesthetic, really close to my favorite window in the whole house. I get a lot of really pretty sweeping light here, and so this is where I have chosen to take pictures. Plants like a lot of light, and so typically they're already near a window, so that helps a lot with photography. So I've got this space here. I'm gonna go ahead and open up my camera and begin composing. So I want to place this plant so that it covers up this electrical outlet. And then when I back up for a good crop, I'm getting the underneath of the cabinet. So I'm going to hit the 1X button. That'll zoom in. I'm going to have to back up, but it allows for a more dynamic crop. We have like a lot of space around the edges. It's really clean. I'm going to match up, make sure my horizon is nice and straight. Got to scoot this over just a little more. And then take our picture. Now we have this kind of damaged leaf in front, so I may want to favor a different side of the plant. Over here you can kind of see some of the Pilea babies. This is a Pilea peperomides or peperomioids, I'm not sure how you say it, and I absolutely love this plant. So this works great if you happen to have a really aesthetic spot in your home to photograph your plants, but if you're like me, usually it's a little chaotic over here and we want to be able to clean it up quickly so that we can photograph our plants very easily. So I have a piece of poster board. This is just a really simple dollar poster board. I use it as reflectors and other things. So I'm just going to tape this up to my cupboard and make essentially a clean sweep. This is a seamless background, so we have a nice white space. I can go ahead and put my plant right in the middle. I'm gonna raise this up a little bit. Masking tape. And then we are ready to take our picture. So same story goes. We want to just make sure we get in close enough that we don't see any of the edges in the kitchen. But again, if you have to get too close and it looks a little distorted just moving in, then I would hit that 1X button. That brings the background closer, which gives you a little more flexible cropping around the edges, and then we take our picture. Now, this plant is a little bit tall for this example. This is probably the max height of plant that you would want to take in this setup. So let's just say that you have a teeny little plant. This is actually that plant's baby. Isn't it so cute? So we will want to photograph this guy right here. This is plenty of space to photograph this plant. So I would just come down here and take a picture. So let's say I wanted to get really low, but my countertop was in the way and I can't move my camera any further down and I really want to get at the plant's level. You can actually turn your camera upside down and that will move the camera part closer to the bottom of the plant so that you don't get any of the soil coming out of the top. So that's just like a fun way to add a different angle to your picture or to get maybe the underside of the leaves. But yeah, either way you take it, that will be a nice clean shot. All right, so now that we have our picture of our plant, you might be looking at it and thinking, wow, that looks really gray and drab and sad. My pictures don't look very good. What do I do? So I'm gonna go ahead and edit this one. So I just selected it and then I'm gonna double tap it so that it shows the full image. This is the 4x5. We're gonna go into the next menu and I'm gonna start out by correcting my crop. So I'm actually gonna toggle over into the edit menu and then hit adjust. I wanna get this centered, so I'm just gonna pinch and zoom until it fits the center of the frame really nicely. I might play with the angle a little bit. I like the idea that the planter is parallel with the horizon, but I actually like when that little bit of space after my thumb and the crop edge is there. So because that angle made that touch the edge there, creating a tangent, I don't like that. So I'm just going to take the angle off and I'm happy with this. I'm just going to drop it down just a little bit so the edge of my hand doesn't go directly out the corner because that's distracting too. And I am happy with this crop. So I'm going to hit the done button. We're going to toggle back into the filter menu. I actually like the look of a Clarendon filter, but make sure when you tap it again and adjust the strength. We just want to bring that to about 25. Here is before and after. It's subtle, but the Clarendon filter adds a little bit of blue, a little bit of sharpness, and I just like the overall result with it kind of stylized. So now that we're done with the filter menu, let's go back into the edit menu. We want to crank up the brightness here. So I'm going to hit brightness and pull it up quite a lot. I'm going to 66. Here is before and after. We're going to hit done. We might come back to that. Let's crank up the contrast. I really like a nice punchy image. This one got pretty contrasted pretty quick because the soil is so dark, but I really like the way that it looks. I'm going to warm it up just a little bit to contradict the coolness that the Clarendon filter added, and it also will help bring my skin tone back to normal. I've got it to set to 15. I like to slide over to the sharpen, which is at the very end, click on that and sharpen it up about 40. So the sharpening is really subtle. You won't be able to see it on my screen, but remember to sharpen your images because they're going to look so much better on your feed if they have been sharpened. So at this point, I am super happy with how we have gotten it just with those few simple tweaks. Let's boost the shadows just a little bit and see if we can get some detail in those leaves. You can see they're kind of dark and now we can sort of see the veins a little bit better. And then the highlight slider, this one I like to test both ways. I take it down and see, okay, that kind of makes our brightest spots a little dimmer, which includes the background. And if we bring it up, it really adds that like starkness, which I kind of like in this image. So I'm going to bring the highlights up. And then let's play with the saturation. I like a very green photo, but I don't want to go overboard because that will make my hand look unrealistic. So I'm just going to do 5 on the saturation. I'm going to bring the warmth up again just a little bit more. And I'm really happy with where we're at. I don't usually touch the other sliders besides brightness, contrast, warmth and saturation, highlights, shadows, and sharpen. The rest is just kind of like extra. But one thing I do like to check is the magic wand. Sometimes the magic wand does really cool stuff, and sometimes I think it makes it look a little grungy. I actually kind of like the effect in this shot, but maybe a little less strong. Yeah, just kind of a subtle lux adjustment. It adds some nice shadow depth right here, which kind of gives the planter a nice shape. So I'm going to hit done. Here is our before and our after, and we are ready to post.